First of all, tell them how many times you got shot. Because
let anything deter me or stop me. God allowed me to be forced through fire. He didn't let me. He didn't let me get burned. I had a hiccup. Yeah, of course. But being the definition of what God can do, man, 17 shots, it would change your life. Life is life, and life be lifing.
God handpicks certain people who can actually deal with certain things too, like, for greater good, because we have to be leadership skills and execution skills. We will pull you up and we will put you in position to make your own bag as well. We're not the only people who want to be eaten.
Most definitely.
Keontae, you got the keys, yo.
Who am I here with today?
Keontae Whitlow. What if I told you I could get you 100K? I ain't gotta say a song, gotta sell no yay. I ain't gotta sell no peas, I gotta hit the road.
This is an example of no excuses.
Whatever you want, you could truly have.
There's no excuse. Anyone can get access to credit. What's going on, y'all? What's the word? What's the vibe, man? It's your boy Key, aka Mr. No Excuses, aka Moneybag Key, whatever you know me as. And welcome back to another episode of the No Excuses podcast. Today I got my boy Escobar on with us. We're going to be going through his story, a little bit about my story. I'm going to be asking him some questions, and then we just going to chop it up as always. If y'all interested in that, definitely hit a like, drop a like on this video, drop a comment, let us know where you're watching from, all that good stuff. But just to get into his story, he is, I don't want to show too much or give too much, but basically he is someone who has been through some similar stuff that I went through, but he kind of had it worse, but he came out a little bit better at the same time. But we all have our own struggles, so that's why I wanted him to kind of be the voice for himself. And he's also one of my mentees. Also, he's been learning so much that he kind of went up the ranks really fast, and now he's working directly with us, like a part of the actual team, not just as a mentee. So he's like a brother to me, and we got similar stories, and I want him to kind of share his story and everything, push him, trying to get him cranked up so he can be on these platforms giving his testimony as well. So what's going on, my guy?
Yo, brother, no excuses. What's good? It feels good to be in the building, man. Shout out to you and the whole team. You know what I mean? Happy holidays to everybody that's listening. Yo, we're gonna definitely get into it, man, because it's a lot to get into. You know what I mean? This is life. Life be life, and so we here to just let you know what this thing really be like, how it goes down, what it takes to get from zero to ground up. So we start from the bottom to the top, north, south, east, west. You know what I mean? Anything goes. God first, of course. Whatever it is you need to know about me, I'm here to let you know. So, Mr. No Excuses, man. I just want to thank you for all the opportunities, man, that you and the fam has brought to the table in the minimum max of time. Things have changed drastically in a great way. Despite all the setbacks, it's honestly been a very, very set up. For every setback has been the best comeback. So shout out to you and the squad for everything that y'all doing, man. I'm going to tell y'all, word of mouth, not just because we're here, but that's my brother from another mother. And from a business standpoint, man, he's definitely the guy to go do business with. Everything he said, he stood about 110. So if you try and get down and you really want to make that change, no excuses. All I can tell you is blase woo, man. Let's get into it, brother, this evening.
Wait. I know you may be enjoying the content, but I want to give you guys a free gift. This is an ebook about how to legally get tons of money from banks. So a lot of people don't know that you can actually spend money on a credit card and earn money, and you can get paid for opening up different bank accounts. But it also gets deeper than that. All you guys got to do is text the word MS to the number 440-597-5055. This book is completely free. It usually costs $27, but I'm giving it guys to you guys for watching this video completely free. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, so first thing first, man. I know your story, but the people don't know your story. People online, everybody know your story who's around you, but the masses do not know your story. So like I told them a little bit about you, but I'm gonna just come out and ask the questions that I think will help impact as many people's lives. So first of all, can you tell me about how you got shot and like what happened to you and like first of all, tell them how many times you got shot because I want them to hear it from you, not from me.
So never boasting about anything that's happened in life. You know, most people they want to boast and gloat about it, but I would talk about it from a standpoint of being a miracle. I mean, being a true definition of what God can do. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was shot 17 times, life support 4.5 days by an unknown assailant, allegedly. But in the midst of everything, staying to myself, was family man, building businesses, in the process of building businesses, having a family, full-time father. I'm staying in my lane, not bothering anybody, just, doing what I do, making changes. The choice was to become the best version of me for me. You know what I mean? So it's like, as long as I was doing wrong, nothing was happening. And when I began to change my life, I was hit 17 times, man, for no apparent reason. So it's like in life, you just never know what may happen or why it may happen. But like I said, God does everything for a reason. And honestly, I feel like it was something that I wasn't doing correctly or subconsciously that God had to get my attention. So he used that situation to get my attention. And in the midst of that, I still wouldn't change right offhand. So I had to continue fighting with my demons, fighting with my struggle, things that I was struggling with internally, but I didn't let anything deter me or stop me. God allowed me to be forced through fire. He didn't let me he didn't let me get burned. I had a hiccup, yeah, of course, but being the definition of what God can do, man, 17 shots, it would change your life. Life is life, and life be life. But you just never know what God has for you. And sometimes he have to bring you all the way down to your knees and take his hands off of you and allow certain things to happen to you to get your attention.
Like I said, I know you said you got shot 17 times, but like how you told me, what do you feel? Well, like I know you said you told me kind of like how many shells they found, actually how many times they tried to shoot you, but also like what do you feel was the message? Like you said, you felt like it was a bigger message. It was something that God was trying to do for you in the midst of everything. What do you think was the purpose of you getting shot? And also tell them like how many times you did almost get shot, basically.
Okay, so clear to clear, 17 total shots. They picked up 51 shell casings, 3 shooters. You know what I'm saying? 3 shooters, 51 shell casings. Got shot in the face, back of the head, and so forth. I suffer from a traumatic brain injury to this very day. I lost my sense of smell. You know what I mean? And I still keep going. It was really, really bad in the situation, not really understanding, that there was a calling on my life, that I was running from, and God kept trying to get my attention, and I kept running from purpose. So purpose became pain. That pain put me in a position to acknowledge my faults, my flaws, and my truth. You know what I mean? So I began to just lean on God more, and try to understand what it is that He was trying to get me to see. He used that situation in my life to help me get to where I'm headed now. Very, very, very traumatic and drastic. It was hard on my family. It changed me forever. But in the midst of it, I'm still here today, and I owe it all to God. I owe it all to God. I wouldn't change my struggle for nothing because my struggle has been strategically the reason for my change, and this is where we are today.
Yeah. See, like coming from like me being in like a similar situation where I got shot, man. One time, I got shot one time, and I'm stuck in this wheelchair until God say so. You know what I mean? I can imagine like getting shot 17 times. You know what I mean? Like it's just like crazy things that we actually have to go through. But God handpicks certain people who can actually deal with certain things too, like, you know what I mean, for greater good, because we have to be a testimony, we have to be the light for people who are going through a similar situation with no hope, that might not have people around them who can help pump them up or build them up or pray for them like we do. if that makes sense. They might not have good people around them who actually push them to their purpose, not just settle for where they are.
Correct.
So yeah.
Again, shout out to Mr. No Excuses because he made a very great point. He got shot once. You know what I mean? He's in the wheelchair. But I give credit where credit's due because I got shot 17 times. I'm still walking around and I don't take no credit. And I admit to my rights and wrongs. Him being shot one time, he's got more done than I have in the midst of his situation than I did in my time. Yet still I took my situation for granted. But then on one day, something really special happened. I actually met the brother. We linked up. We talked about our life. Never knew everything we had in common. His testimony, his life story became, something for me to wake up and grow on. You know what I'm saying? So, that became a reflection of my foundation in my future because he got shot once. He's in a wheelchair doing big things. He went through his thing. I got shot 17 times. I was still playing with life, still not paying attention, still not submitting to my calling. And at the same time, it took me a while to really understand how important and how valuable life was and the gifts that I had. So again, shout out to Mr. No Excuse because he helped me figure out like what my calling was. God threw me a life raft. Mr. No Excuses was a life raft. So different time frames, different states, but the same struggles, same, somewhat of the same vision. I mean, the boat, they say if you don't let the water in the boat, nobody can sink the ship. So I'm just saying, like, life be life,
Yeah.
man.
And I gotta talk about that more often too because like people see me and they just think that I started like this. No, we all have to go through our own little times. We all gotta learn and grow because like when I first got shot, it was like a whole year before my mind settled down because I'm still 18. I'm still a YN at mindset. You know what I mean? I don't care about nothing. I'm calling all these girls up to the hospital who don't care about me. I'm just still getting into arguments with the family and talking crazy because I'm still the same person. But overall, like over time, you start to grow and mature, and no matter what your situation is, you still gotta go through your alone time. You gotta go through your own healing. You gotta go through your own mindset change. But you have to put in the effort. I put in the effort. I studied a lot. I learned different things. I kept busy, even within my situation. I didn't just sit there listening to music, listen to rah rah stuff that's gonna keep me depressed. Of course, I listen to music, but I try to do other things that would help build my mind. So like y'all might see me like speaking Spanish sometimes. That's because like after I got shot, of course, like I'm watching different TV shows. I see Ghost on Power speaking Spanish. I'm like, man, I took Spanish in school for like 3 years, and now I can't speak no Spanish. Like I can't have a conversation. But then I just started learning like everything I could, like on YouTube. But yeah, so like now I can actually speak. So just different stuff like that. Y'all gotta do personal development.
Correct, correct. Hey, we gonna get you tight on that Spanish, man. Chingado y con otro, chinchota se te puede llamar.
Yeah, oh yeah, that way funny. Yeah, yeah,
To it, man.
yeah. We gotta circle back to you though for sure because like they just heard you speaking. So basically, real quick before we get too far, tell me a little bit about who you are. Who like, 'cause, like what I mean, 'cause he look y'all see him, man. He ain't your average black man. He got some. He mixed with some stuff too. So let him know who you are as an individual and as a person.
Yeah, so it's a lot of my DNA, man. I'm biracial, man. You know what I'm saying? Colombian, Samoan, Bahamian, and Indian. I got a strong background. Like I said, island background. I speak multiple languages. I come from a very, very strong, dedicated family on all ends. But that's gonna be on another podcast. We'll break that down into the family history. I don't think they're really, really ready for that. But
Yeah.
the name Escobar speaks for itself. And the great thing about it is this, man. At the end of the day, being able to transgress and to become who you truly are and to actually walk into your purpose despite of your family or the name that they carry. You know, it's all about who you are and what you represent. And just for my youngins, man, you wanna represent to the best of your ability, not because of somebody saying, well, you have to be this way, you have to be that way. You have to be the way that you're supposed to be for you. And
Yeah, for you.
yeah, you sit back and you watch life. Life is like autopilot, man. And like I said again, I take my hat off to you, Key, Mr. No Excuses, because again, you helped me see things that I couldn't see within myself. And I'm a lot more older than you, but you have you have a lot of maturity and levels that I hadn't even tapped into yet. So I would honestly say they say it's not about what you know, but who you know. That's a true statement. But sometimes we have to sit still because God you that those resources. Man, you know what? Honestly, y'all, this is for the whole world. I prayed for something for one day, maybe like 3 days straight. Me and this guy met like the next day, like crazy. Like this just on faith, y'all. This just how strong God. This is just how real God is. And I told him that. I prayed for resources. I prayed for a true brother, a solid foundation to get to where I'm going. This brother came in, and the first conversation we had, he told me, "Yo, whatever you need, I'm here. I see something in you. We gonna get to it." And he's been a man of his word since then. And we've been here being able to learn from each other. And I will honestly say, people live thinking that they need this person, that person, this person, that person. All you need is God, some faith, and a vision. Everything else will fall into place. And
Yeah.
brother, I appreciate you for helping me see my vision, allowing me to tap into my potential. And it's been a long time coming, brother. But I will tell you this honestly. Ain't no brother in the world like my brother, Mr. No Excuses. Shout out to him and the whole team, because you know what? They don't make that material anymore. That material out of date, brother. So you one of a kind, bro. Cut from what Jeezy say, last of a dying breed.
Yeah,
Shout out to my bro, man, because
yeah,
that material out of style right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. People real corny nowadays, bro. They're not real.
It's about locking in and staying focused,
Yeah,
being loyal. But like I say, faith,
yeah,
faith got me
yeah,
here, brother. Faith.
yeah. But before we get more into the business and all that stuff, I do want to ask you a couple more questions, if that's cool.
Shoot, brother. Let's get to it.
Okay, so like I said, I don't know your story, but I want people to like fully have a full vision on who you are, because like it's people who can relate from your story, and that's going to really help you when it's time for you to like fully execute and get on these platforms, who are in your similar shoes, who have a similar story to you as you, so that you want them to relate to your story as well. Just like I got people hitting me up because they can relate to my story, but it's other people who have similar stories as you. So how old are you at the moment?
43. I just turned 43, October 26th. I'm a father of like 14, 15 kids, allegedly. Nah, for real.
No, that way. Yeah, so he being modest, man. He this brother. If you really know him, if you ask him how many kids he has, he's gonna tell you 17 or 18 or 17. But in all reality, he is about 15. But the good thing is that he claims his stepkids like they're his own. He don't treat them no different. He has three stepkids as well. So he'll always tell you the real number, because he doesn't treat them like they're not his. You know what I mean? So at first I didn't even know that they weren't his, because he never ever like downplayed. Like he just took accountability for all of them. This dude got kids my age. I'm like, man, this dude, he a deep brother. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still we've been locked in for about 2 months. I'm still learning stuff. So we gonna have to do more of these episodes. But definitely he's someone who is gonna execute. He's someone who is real knowledgeable, and he's gonna take everything that you teach him, and he's gonna crank it up. So we about to see. Y'all gonna see where he goes from here. Y'all gonna see him in my business as well. Y'all gonna see him of course, in the six-figure apprenticeship. He's a part of that as well. Like I said, he's someone who executes real fast. So might have to have them start teaching some classes in our lower tier community as well. That's how locked in we are. And so it's like when it comes to me, I don't just want to build a community where I'm the leader, or me and my business partner D are the only leaders. If you show signs of leadership leadership skills and execution skills, we will pull you up and we will put you in position to make your own bag as well. We're not the only people who want to be eaten. That's not how life works.
Shout out to you for that. Most definitely a true statement. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all, he means everything he says, everything he's ever told me. He's done. And we're gonna backpedal a little bit as far as the kids.
Yeah.
True statement. So growing up, I didn't really get to have a chance to like really get to, know my father, like that, because, it was things going on within the families. My mom was on drugs, I'm saying my pops was on drugs, this and that nature. I bounced from house to house. I was born early, I was a sick baby. Nobody really wanted to, take our time to, nourish me, because it was so much going on around my life and around my family. And my family, my parents struggle with, different addictions, separation anxiety, all these different things. And as a child, I didn't understand. So I always told myself, like, when I grow up, I wanted kids. And I saw how that felt growing up, not having my parents around, and or getting older, not getting the love that I feel like I deserve from my parents. So I always told myself that I would love my children unconditionally, and a lot of us has been through that, so all I know how to do is love from a very, very deep place. So I took the kids that came with my relationship, and I love them just as much because they didn't have a father. I know how that pain felt. So I'm not going to sit back and not take care of them and just take care of mine when I know how that felt. So if God put that in my heart and give me the strength to do that, I'm going to do exactly that, because you know what? Children don't know right or wrong. All they know is love or no love. So at the end of the day, they deserve that love, that nourishment. They deserve that great parenting, because guess what? The children are definitely the reflection of our future. And if we don't lead them in the right direction, we won't have doctors, lawyers, electricians. We'll have a humane, like a maniac society like the one we have today. And that a lot of that comes from a lack of bad parenting, or people that's just not parenting at all. So it's extremely important to love your kids unconditionally, whether you're blood kids or not.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, because somebody took our time to love me, and and they weren't even my parents. They was, family members, and I never understood that. So I always said that I would always love the children in my life unconditionally, because I want them to know that they're loved, that they're honored, that they're special, that they matter. It's hard growing up not feeling like you matter, bro. You lose focus. You don't have faith. You have insecurity issues, anxiety, paranoia, all these types of things. So if we can, do something to keep those types of things from happening. Love that child unconditionally. Guarantee that child a wonderful future. Lay the foundation. Give them a reason to want to live and do the same exact thing you did for them, and break those generational curses, because it's
Yeah.
done. It just takes love and dedication.
Yeah. And that's before I'm gonna speak on this real quick before we jump into another topic in itself. That, but like you said, you see your mom with your parents was on drugs, and like it's a lot of kids who feel like how you feel, that they can't get the love. Like Dolph said, y'all know I love Dolph. He said, what did he say? He said, couldn't get it from my mama, so I got it off the block. Basically, he couldn't get the love from his family, from his mom, so he got the love from the streets, and he turned to the streets. It's a lot of people who are in similar situations. It's people who, like we call them YNs, but they're young individuals who, what I mean, who couldn't, who like basically found their love in whatever they found their love in, whether it's the streets, whether it's gangs, wherever they got the most love from, that's where they jumped into, and that's where they spend their time, basically.
Very, 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 very true.
But we gonna jump back into that in a few. Real quick, one or two last questions specifically about you before we talk about society.
Let's get to it.
Uh, so when you got shot, so okay, just tell them a little bit about who you were before and how you are now. Like before you got shot, I know you said you got shot. It wasn't even related to you being in the streets at that particular moment. But tell them a little bit about your street life background, like who you are, what happened, why you think you had to pay for those mistakes that you kind of made beforehand.
Okay, so truth be told, this again is for the youth. You know what I mean? In life, like in life, I grew up fast. I always wanted nice things. I was ahead of my time. I was very, very intelligent. So I wanted everything the grown-ups wanted. Nobody wanted to give it to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I started getting money myself. I became good at it. I went away. I went to prison. I still wasn't getting it. So at some point, you know, after getting in trouble, I just say, you know what? I started, doing things that were wrong, scheming, never robbed anybody, never really viciously hurt anybody, per se, that didn't deserve it or hurt me first. Still doesn't make it right. But I grew up, I was extremely smart for my age. I got picked on a lot, bullied a lot, you know what I'm saying? So it turned me into a certain type of person.
Mm-hmm.
I always pretty much stayed to myself, so that's why I couldn't really understand the situation that happened to me. But you never know who your ops or your enemies are, and even with family, I won't really get into that either. But sometimes the enemy be within your family dwelling, and
Yeah.
people envy you because of your light, just because of you smile, or you smile a lot, or you're an extremely energetic person, and
Mm-hmm.
we live our life in a sense of not knowing how people truly feel about us. So we'll never really, really know because we don't dwell on those types of things. So, growing up, nobody really never really showed me anything about how to do things on my own. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the love is what I wanted, but I got other things in return. The streets gave me love. The streets taught me how to get the money. The women, I was intrigued by the women and the pretty cars, and the OGs. They taught me different things like that. When I was supposed to be getting taught how to go to school, start businesses, how to love one another, how to how to follow God and things of that nature. I wasn't taught that. My family never even talked about college or any of that. It was just like, yo, do what you want. Just do what you want. So there wasn't no true love there, a lot of times, but there were family members or in certain parts of my family where it was unconditional love. It was dedication, it was love, like love for real love. But by then, the streets got a hold of me.
Yeah.
Began selling drugs and doing the wrong things. So when I decided to change my life, you know what I'm saying? That's when that happened to me. I started my own business, had a family, things of that nature. But it obviously was something going on outside of my realm that I had no clue. And that situation just changed my whole life. And I can't go back into it, but if I can turn the hands of time, I wouldn't change anything about my life or my pain or anything I've been through, because had I not never went through that, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be doing something totally different, truth be told, and it wouldn't be nothing positive. So I allowed my pain became my purpose. So now I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So yeah, like he was saying, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like people used to be like with me, like, why is he so bad? His parents is good. His parents is loving. His parents is caring. Why is he so bad? But people really didn't know. Like my parents was young, so like growing up, they kind of, you know what I mean, they wanted to still kick it. So I spent a lot of time with babysitters who was cousins and friends and family and grandparents. So yeah. So now when I go home, of course I'm in a great environment. But when I'm with the other person's family, I'm seeing all types of crazy stuff. I'm seeing drugs. I'm seeing people smoking. I'm seeing gang life. And so what you think is more appealing to me? You think everything my parents is teaching me when I come home, or you think the stuff that I'm seeing my cousins do? I'm seeing people chopping up crack. I'm seeing people smoking weed. I'm 9 years old, so now by nature, the first time I smoke weed as when I'm 9 years old, because I'm so curious. I'm in the studio with real rappers, so that's what kind of why I started rapping. I'm in the studios at a young age. Found a gun. I don't think I'm like 9 years old. Picked up the first gun, so like now I kind of fell in love with guns. But all this stuff just came because I was curious. It wasn't put in my face by people. It came because I'm being shown this type of stuff, and now I'm curious. So now I'm looking for stuff. Or now when I'm over certain babysitters, I'm being exposed to stuff. But my parents don't know,
Right.
and I don't even know how to express what I've seen until like it comes out in my actions. You know what I mean? So my parents was always great, great providers, great parents. I would never take anything from my parents. It was just more when I was being babysitted by like friends and family. So which was a lot, like because like I said, parents was young, man. They wanted to kick it.
And so I could speak on that topic. Yo, Key, I could speak on that topic. Speaking of young, I had my first 3 kids when I was 14, going on 15 years old. For every year after that, I had 2 babies from different girls.
Oh wow.
I was definitely getting it. They kept telling me I wanted. Might you say, yo, you're not even shooting dog water. I wanted to test to see what that was.
No, I was not shooting no dog with it. No
That
way.
wasn't no dog water. That was concrete. That was
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That was concrete.
yeah.
So I thought it was cool because that's what I saw. Nobody ever said, yo, when you have the baby, now you got to take care of the baby. Now you got to change the pamper. Now you got to go to the. You know what I'm saying? So that I wasn't exposed to that. I was just exposed to the first part of it because nobody really around me taking care of no kids and going to doctor visits and all that. My uncles,
Yeah,
they were flipping women out left and right. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was all right.
yeah,
But I mean, I didn't know any better. And even going into adulthood, it took a while to realize, what it really took to have a child, or even what women, shout out to all the moms, what they go through, when they giving birth. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
For having baby fathers that are not there. And even the brothers that go through, baby moms that make it hard, that want to provide. So, you have to improvise and learn
yeah,
everything that we go through and know exactly what y'all doing out there, young people, when you're doing it, because what you don't know is life is on autopilot. It ain't no script to it. It's going to go one way or another way. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to get you every single time. So know what you're doing when you out. AIDS is real. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
abuse, physical abuse is real, mental abuse is real. You just never know what you may run into. So know what you're doing when you're out there doing things in life, young people, because life will throw you a curve
Yeah.
that you're not ready
Know
for.
what you signed up for, man. Like, okay, here's what I can say. If you know what you signed up for and you want to accept it, if somebody tell you, like, this is what you signing up for, and you truly don't care, man, by all means, the choice is yours. But I want you to really understand what you're signing up for because it ain't what it's cracked up to be. It's not what it looks like on TV. It ain't all the rappers, all the flash, all that stuff. That stuff is like a small part of it, but it's really stuff like us, like with shootings, robberies, killings, all
Right.
that's the jail. You know what I mean?
Right.
Prison, like in and out, having kids, not raising your kids. It's a lot of people who are having these kids and not raising their kids. And nowadays, it ain't even the men no more. It's a lot of the women. Like now, if you look at like everybody who having kids nowadays, it's mainly the dads who is taking care of the kids nowadays. Like it's like the roles have reversed. So like it's bad when a mom is not taking care of their child. That's like before that wasn't even heard of. You know what I mean?
I could speak on that part. Me, I'm a single father too. You know that. My partner passed away. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, she overdosed. You know what I mean? So she left me with 2 beautiful babies of my own and 3 from her. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I didn't know, her pain levels, or shout out to, what I'm saying, suicide prevention, because we just never know what people are going through mentally. So we have to be mindful, of how we handle people,
Yeah.
because we don't know what they're going through. So we want to pray for, everybody that's going through any type of situation, and try to get to know, their situation better, because I can speak from, from experience as a single father. It's hard, brother. It's hard.
For sure.
Not only just raising them, but knowing that as life goes on, they're going to ask questions about their mother. And I'm going to try to explain that to the best of my ability. So I have to be the best version of me mentally to be able to be that guidance, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So I was never taught those type of things. So it's harder for me because nobody never taught me the things that I had to learn the hard way. But I had to learn them so my children don't have to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I mean, there's no excuses for the decisions we make in life, whether it be right or wrong, or how people see us, or the decisions they think we should make. At the end of the day, we have to lean on God and have faith and make the best decision possible for us and for those that really matter to us.
Yeah.
It's my opinion. And I'm speaking from experience, brother. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So now I want to shift speaking to directly the youth. So it's a lot of people who see us online. They see us before our injury. Like on my page, you can go back. I'm pretty sure Q started add some stuff on his page from before it as well, because you gotta see the transformation, because young people ain't gonna listen to you if you're not qualified. That's like Carlton trying to
Say that again.
they're not gonna listen to you if you're not qualified, bro.
Brother.
If you like, imagine us trying to be taught on how to stay out the streets by Carlton from Fresh Prince. And I'm like, bro, I ain't listening to you, bro. Like, you don't know what I'm going through. So like, but they got people like us, like, y'all seen how I was. You can go back on YouTube. You can go on scroll down on my Instagram. So you can even look at Escobar and look at him and see that he from the street. Look at his teeth, bro. How many gold you got in your mouth, bro?
The whole 20-piece, 24 karat. None of that flea market stuff. Yeah, it's the real deal there. 10 top, 10 bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but I want to like shift like how we was kind of like mesmerized by that stuff before.
That's what we saw.
Yeah, that's what we thought success was. We thought success was big chains, mouthful of golds, candy paint, 24-inch rims. We didn't know that success was actually having 800 credit scores, having a family, taking care of your family, taking care of your kids, being in your kids' life, sending your kids to college, playing sports, doing different things like that. We thought what we were seeing on TV, when it comes to all that flashy stuff, which all that flashy stuff that them rappers was putting on these videos, half of that stuff they didn't even own. Half of that stuff was an advance or was provided by the label. When after that video is done, they had to get that stuff back. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all seen all these rappers, like how they borrow chains and stuff from like a lot of rappers like used to borrow that stuff from like Big Meats, or they used to borrow that stuff from different jewelers. Like, that stuff wasn't theirs, bro. Like, we thinking that all this money is real. All that money, half of that money was prop money. Half of those cars is rented. So like, it's all a facade. And that,
Die for it.
yeah, and they'll die for it. Yeah. And that facade is the reason why we're in the situation that we're in, because we thinking that stuff, you know what I mean, is realistic. Well, at least me, I know he had like a lot of people who was really in the streets, which I did as well, but not on his level. But like, my idols was seeing the stuff online, because I grew up in the times where we had a lot of people in movies and a lot of rappers. But I know he had like
movie, boy.
Yeah.
That's for another another episode, man.
Yeah. But so I wanted to like, I wear the chains now because I like how it still looks. But you're not gonna see me glorifying no chain. You're not gonna see me glorifying earrings. I wear that stuff because I can afford it. But best believe I still got my credit, I got my foundation, I got my life, I got my priorities straight. So I can have all that stuff. But you guys, y'all gotta really like figure out what the focus point is, what the priorities is. And it's not just that. But you got anything that you want to speak about when it comes to the young people?
You mind if I have one? I want to share something with y'all right quick. So shout out to everything my brother just said. True facts, you know. I want to make a very, very important statement. The crazy thing about it is we were taught certain things, but never, you know, they teach you, they say, well, they teach you to work your whole life until you retire or something like that. What they say, work hard, play hard. Nah,
No, I ain't gonna lie. I got that tattoo on my chest. Work hard, play hard.
but that was at a
Yeah,
certain point in your life.
yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But truth be told, what they don't teach you is how not to be broke,
yeah.
how to be professional, how to speak with proper etiquette, how to have respect, how to live by principle, how to stand by
Yeah,
the word, the definition of loyalty, the definition of love, love without condition. There's a lot of things that we weren't taught, and we've had to learn the hard way.
yeah,
End of the day, none of this stuff even matter, young people. What matters is you having a relationship with God, building a solid foundation with those that you love, having a purpose, living your purpose, leaving behind a legacy.
for sure.
Someone that probably ain't never done nothing for like us. Key, look at us, man. Our parents were young when they had us. We doing things that they never even done at their age.
Yeah, for sure.
You see what I'm saying? Just because
Yeah,
they're older doesn't make them more mature. Not speaking on our parents, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, young people, this life, it comes with a price if your purpose is not aligned with your faith or your reality, because what they showing you is not real. What they teaching you is not real. The best thing I can say to the youth is this: get you a relationship with God, find you a dictionary, learn how to use your words, find you something that you're great at, something that you love getting up doing. Let that be
yeah.
your purpose.
And get you a mentor, but make sure it's the right mentor. Don't just go out paying the wrong mentor because wrong mentors can steer you the wrong way.
Gotta find God first, man. That's
Yeah, for sure.
that's the key
Yeah.
to the vote.
Once they find God, God gonna point them in the right direction. Yeah.
If they don't fear God, if they don't shout out to the young people, if you don't fear God, you got a whole life full of hell in front of you.
Yeah.
Don't force the Bible on you, but I will tell you this: we all are young gods, young gods. As you know, young gods, we're the likeness of our God. And the best thing I've ever did was accepting my flaws and was able to say I was wrong and say, you know what, I've tried everything and none of it worked. I changed as soon as I gave God the keys in the keys, and I put on my seatbelt and say, you know what, just run it. Just you do it. You know, just don't let me get burned while you forge me through this fire. And some days I have my doubts. Some days my old life creep into my brain. It's like, yo, I can get this and do this and have this by
Hmm.
the end of the day. It doesn't really matter because none of this stuff is real. You can't take none of it with you. It's about what you leave behind for what's
Yeah.
important, man. And you know, for every young person that may listen to this podcast, I would tell you this from the bottom of my heart. All the secrets are in the books. Get you a book, read that book, love that book, study that book. Let that
Yeah.
be water to your soul and do something different. Do things in your life that people in your family ain't never did. Make that change. And it all starts with your relationship with God. And that comes
Speaking
from having faith.
my bad. Yeah. Definitely gotta have the faith for sure. Uh, Speaking about the books, man, tell them a little bit about the books I had you read when you first joined the program, like what the doctor said and everything. Just tell them, give them a little bit of the glimpse of what happens when they actually join the apprenticeship.
So yo, I don't get paid. I'm not promoting this brand, so I don't get paid to tell y'all this. This is the God and the truth. You know, first of all, this brother came into my life, and he showed me something, a few things, you know what I'm saying, that it cost things that cost him, you know, to get this information. And he handed it down to me because he saw something in me. And man, those books have been a traumatic change in every aspect of my life. The blueprints. Knowing how to do business. The importance of having something that serving the people, having something that people actually want to purchase or be a part of because they can see the life changing elements that comes with it. So everything this brother has ever put in my life, whether it be a book or author or some information, anything, it has all been sufficiently applied in every aspect of my life. And it's only been a few months. I mean, we doing numbers. We credit scores changing. Life is changing. Things around me are changing. My environment is changing. My belief system is changing. It's changing.
Yeah.
Say you hang around a barbershop long enough, you get a haircut. Well, I say you hang around millionaires long enough, you become a millionaire.
Yeah.
So,
Tell me a little bit about the other, what the doctor said.
my doctor,
Yeah.
which part? He done said a lot.
What about the skin, the brain scan?
Check this out, y'all. Shout out to my brother again. So I was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury from one of the bullets that hit me in the back of the head, and I lost a lot of brain frequency. Yo, this brother put some books, in my ear, and just going and reading these books about business and like I said, blueprints, all these different types of things. Those books that this brother had me go look at and study. I went back to the doctor maybe like a month later, because the frequency was low in my brain, my cerebral cortex. After reading those books and studying those books and having conversations with this brother about various business ideas and things of that nature, I was able to get some information from my doctor, my neurologist. He's like, "Yo, well, what you been doing? Your brain frequency is it's picking up. It's looking real good. What have you been reading?" I'm like, "Yo," I said, "Well, I've been reading a lot of different books, for my business partner about wealth, finances, the Bible, of course, because the Bible speaks about finances and wealth as well. We'll get into that another time, but those books help the brain frequency in my cerebral cortex. They begin to ignite. They begin to wake up. So that lets you know when you're doing something positive and or something that's structured. You know what I'm saying? Walking in the right direction. Your body it picks up on it. So everything is an energy field. So as I'm going through these books and learning these different things about business and life and having conducted proper business relationships and different things of that nature, it changed the frequency in my brain, and it changed the way um, my body will react to my headaches, from severe headaches, not being able to sleep. Just the books alone, man, it changed the way
Yeah.
I thought, for me, but at the same time, I didn't know it was changing the way my brain was taken to it. So it ignited, things in my brain. So my receptors are working better, and you just never know. See how God changed your life, and certain things will just change, and you don't even know. You thinking you're doing one thing, but God is fixing another thing while He's doing this other thing, and it becomes a different thing. So yeah, it's been a beautiful journey. We got a long way to go, but it's been good.
Yeah. So based upon like, okay, yeah, real quick, just tell them how quick it was for your credit to change and really go to the next level, from the time where we submitted everything until the time where everything was off.
Man, honestly, you want me to give them the time frame?
Yeah, the real deal.
9 days.
9 days.
9 days.
Yeah, 9 days.
9 days. I just looked at my FICO today. It was up again. I just ain't, they ain't had a chance to tell you yet.
over 100 points, boy. That boy was lit.
112.
That boy was hot. Yeah. He was ecstatic. I ain't gonna cap.
I mean, you think about it. Y'all think about it, man. And this is for the world.
And
Y'all
some of that stuff you was trying to get off for years, bro.
listen, check this out. This for them to listen. And again, I don't get paid for this. Yo,
Yeah.
brother put me down. And, he opened the door for me. I follow his lead because he's already making boss moves. So, I mean, of course, you're gonna follow the lead. He's already done it. So, he showed me things. I did the footwork, and I'm telling you, just having faith and believing in the God in Him. Um, Everything he said, it was what it was. But it went bigger than what he even thought. It went bigger than what he said.
Mm-hmm.
It's about taking that first step, initially taking the first step. And it did way better than we thought it would do. But it was about taking the first step. You have to take the first step. If you don't take the first step, then you already failed. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't listen to nobody. I followed his lead, bro. And As a matter of fact, I'm wrong. It was 116 points, and then it was 97 points, and then another one did 53 points, and this is like in an all 9 to 12 day period.
Yeah. And real quick, just for the people who may be watching, they see me on Instagram talking about my little six-figure apprenticeship program. Real quick, from all the value that you got just from working with us for a couple months, how much do you think this mentorship should actually cost?
You know what, brother? I'm gonna be real honest with you, and this is no cap. This is God honest truth. Um, the information the information you issue out, the things that you show people in your mentorship with this brand. I mean, it's really hard to put a price on it. But all I can say is, I don't think I don't think I don't think you can ever pay enough to have that type of knowledge. So you can't really put a price on it. It's for me. It's just more about this. For honestly, just honestly, people, the average person, honestly, the average person wouldn't be able to pay you for what the system is worth. But because you work with people and you're into helping change lives,
Yeah.
it's always a beautiful thing because you never know. But brother,
But people like to hear numbers. So like, okay, let's say if the roles was reversed, and you had everything I got, how much would you pay? Like, money is not an issue. How much would you have paid for that info? For everything?
I start off at 30.
30,000.
I start off at 30 easy because I'm just being real. That's just the basics. That's just the basics.
So he just said 30,000. So y'all, so I don't want to hear nobody complaining about $2,500. That's all I wanted them to hear, because like, people think when it comes to a mentor, we charge because we trying to get rich. No, we have to get paid for our time. But I can make my mentorship reasonable. I teach stuff that I paid 30,000 to learn, but I teach it because I don't want people paying all that money for me. I'm very fair. I want people to be able to get like 100-time return from the.
You mind if I make a statement before I forget? If you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to let the world know this. Y'all check this out. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I can't get into too much of it, but I'm gonna give y'all a little bit. When he opened the door for me, because he saw something in me, and I offered to compensate. And we won't talk numbers, but let's just say he saw something in me and say, you know what, we're gonna take that and we're gonna put it over here, and we're gonna put you over here with us because we know what we know. We can see your worth, and this is how we're gonna do this. And ever since then, we just been doing numbers. So it's all about being able to see. Once you see it, you grab it. He saw something in me. He ain't say, well, I'm gonna charge you this, I'm gonna charge you that, I'm gonna charge you this. He just say, yo, listen, if you really gonna do this like this and that, and we're gonna do this like this, and we're gonna get this. And then here we are today.
Yeah.
So, that it goes back to character, how you handle how you carry yourself. And if you can get people to see, what you represent, if they can your worth, it works. You know what I'm saying? But they have to want it. And shout out to you, Key, man, because I saw something in you too, brother, because people could, even being of a man of great intelligence, I don't know everything, but you taught me a lot on this journey that I didn't know.
Yeah, and he like, man, I've been in part of some of these biggest names in the industry. I've been in part of their mentorship for years, and I still didn't learn as much, as just
everybody to the curve.
Yeah.
Take everybody to the curve with Mr. No Excuses.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And that's the God honest truth, because I saw something too in my brother that stood out different from everybody else. And I'm gonna give you your flowers, bro. You encouraged me to become the best version of me in your situation. So, as long as I'm breathing, I'll be your legs until we get you walking again, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's how we gonna rock, So.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to keep everybody on here too long, man. We about to wrap this up, but for sure, I'm gonna bring you back on the podcast, man. We gonna lock in hopefully the next episode you'll be here in person, man. Once we sit down at the table, we're gonna just rock out a couple more episodes so we can fully get deeper dives into some of the things that we're working on as a company, as partners, as a brand. Like, it's a lot of stuff that people don't see that I work on behind the scenes, because I'm the kind of guy who I don't like to tell everybody my business. I'm not a boaster. I don't get enjoyment off of just flexing all the time on the gram or putting y'all into my business. I don't get off on that like some people. Yeah. Go ahead.
My brother Key, man, and his family. I just want to thank y'all for welcoming me and my family. Y'all, let me explain something to y'all. These people, we were strangers to each other on both sides. We locked in. We started, very, very small. We believed in each other and what we represent. And the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? The sky's the limit. And, always remember, young people, it's not about, like I said, it's not about what you're doing. It's about how you're doing it. And if you're willing to just change one thing about yourself, you never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. You never know your full potential if you don't ever tap into it. You know what I mean? And my brother here, he's in a wheelchair. I'm walking around every day, still procrastinating and playing games and p-footing around. I got this brother calling me from his chair. Yo, tighten up. Yo, you're making excuses. Yo, stop playing. Yo, let's get to it. You know what I mean? He could have cut off the whole thing. But by him being a real brother, telling me what's really real, I can accept that corrective criticism, because that's when you know it's real. So a shout out to you, brother, and your family and everything that we've been able to actually build, and the way you've blessed me to be able to feed my family and start creating this generational wealth. I don't think I can ever thank you enough, brother. You're different. You're something special and extremely solid. And I would advise y'all, if y'all really want to get down with the winning team, like honestly, y'all need to come rock with us, because we definitely get into it. Ain't no scams going on over here. 2026, we winning.
Already know Excuse Nation, man. Y'all seen it here. Have my guy Escobar on the episode. Shout out to him, man. And we about to wrap everything up. Hope y'all enjoyed this little talk, and we got more to come, man. So definitely share this video with anyone who you think should definitely hear this. Drop a like, drop a comment. If you got any questions, if you guys need any help with your credit, if you guys want to join the mentorship, definitely check all the links in the description below. And we gone. Let's get it.
For the opportunity, brother. It's been great. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Squad eating good, you to play full too. $1 million vision when we hop in the V. Escalade, slide, paint dripping like lean. Low cap, this a lifestyle, not a dream. Low key.